Good morning again, and welcome to the MyTarot morning reflection, daily inventory, and chance to take a breath as we contemplate the universe. So again, it's one of those things where I will always say it, there are no coincidences and everything's an omen. So, for example, I open up my tarot box, and remember the old game of 52 pickup? Good morning. How are you, Jenny? So my cards went flying everywhere. I went to grab them, and it's like, so I'm thinking, is this the deck I'm supposed to be not using? Actually, I was thinking, it's like, okay, maybe this morning I just need to slow down. Take it as the hint. So this morning I'm slowing down. I'm going to think about that at work also, slowing down. Because boy, do I have a lot of energy. Just ask Mina. So, here's our chance to do that, slow down. A reminder that it's like we don't need to just vibrate at the universe. Take a breath, have the feet flat on the floor, and let the butt do the kitty dance. Get it nice and comfortable. Check out where the shoulders are. Check out where the neck is. And listen to the cards like they are the sounds of the ocean. So, this is the chance where I like to say that the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we can use the tarot as that reflection. Just to check in if there's any angers or resentments or any tips or tricks. Things that might normally trigger us during the day. Maybe if we contemplate them during a meditation, during a quiet moment. Maybe if we've already looked at it and something pops up during the middle of the day. Maybe we'll say to ourselves, oh, I already dealt with this, thought about this, contemplated this. Instead of reacting, I'm going to go outside and take a breath. This was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Go outside and have a cigarette. Heck, why even go outside? We'd go to the smoking room. I never smoked. So, what do we have today? So, got classes coming up I need to prepare for. But that's not what we're thinking about right now, is it? So, I'm just thinking about it because I'm holding the tarot. I'm going to what? I'm going to make our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. Each one a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path. Because this stack will lead down one path, this conversation down a different path, and the center one right here will take us in a totally different direction. So this morning, let's take the top stack, or what I like to think of as what's right in front of us, and we don't even see it, and good morning, Angelina. I'm going to do our 3 in 1. And flipping each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. So the first card today is a major, and it's the Fool, and he's walking forward into the future. And what is the Fool? Couple of ways to look at this. So with the Fool, it's about moving forward, not thinking, not noticing, not caring. Sometimes that is exactly what we need, especially, when things are just nuts around us and maybe we just need to stare off the butterfly in the distance. Other times, things could be hey, what are you doing? Stop. Times where it's like we're just oblivious and not paying attention to the things right in front of us. But let's see what this Fool is walking into. And that's why I always talk about do we want to believe, does it matter what the books say or what the cards say? So the cards, never all good, never all bad, and they have different meanings based on other cards around them. So, let's see where we're going. We're going to the Four of Swords. Okay, so, in this example, then we have this Fool. And this is a good example of what happens after like the Ten of Swords. All the anxiety, everything else, eventually something's got to give. Something we finally just have to say, F it. And there's a certain clarity that comes when we finally surrender. When we realize we can't control people, places, and things. When we need to just realize that sometimes our bodies will make us take a break even if we don't want to. But the thing is that we sometimes need to just take that break. And that leads us into the Four of Swords. Swords are our thoughts, our ideas, and sometimes our anxieties. But fours are like four legs on a table. It's stability. And I mean, if you notice, even this flower looks relaxed in here. Almost like it's laying on a bed. In other cards, the flower, all you can see is the tippy top because it's standing straight up and can't move. But this is what happens when we finally say, all right, I need a break. And then we take that moment to ourselves and we go looking at butterflies. Or we just finally give ourselves that break. We step away from the news. We step away from all those things. So that we get to the Nine of Swords. So we have like this cycle that goes on. So, and we still have the advice card here. But what is a Nine of Swords? Sometimes this is called the Nightmare card. But, we go through these cycles. And if swords are our thoughts and our ideas and our anxieties, and we use the numerology of 1 to 10, then by the time we get to 9, again, we've had that build-up. We finally take a break. Maybe we have a good weekend, and then Monday comes along. Or we finally, we accidentally spent a day away from reading the news, and then somebody says, oh, hey, did you hear about the next stupid things that are going on? And then this jumps, we go from 0 to 60 like that. But let's see what the advice card is. And it's the Nine of Wands. So we put in our efforts. So wands are our fire, our energy, and our creativity. And with the Nine of Wands, it's about the effort that we put in. So today, this is about that build-up and recognizing the build-up. It's kind of like I just said here. It's like the cards went everywhere. In life, applying what we learn here and applying maybe what others have taught us in life, I could have there's people that would have just taken that entire case full of cards and just thrown it. That's all it takes for us to snap sometimes. Just that one final thing. If one more thing happens, we can just, and there goes our day, there goes our week. This is recognizing all the things that are around us. All our stressors. I acknowledge the stress that you are under. People may not see it, but I'll tell you what. My stress, my emotional distress, my mental distress is more important than anybody else's in the world. Why? Because I'm the one that has to feel it. I can have empathy for other people, but people may not realize the stress that we're under, but we do. So here we see this cycle. You know, we have to put in our effort. We have to put in our work. We need to, you know, we have things that we have to do. We have to pay our bills. We have to do all this. You know, and this is showing that cycle. And it's recognizing that path. You know, and so when we get to the Nine of Wands, it's about saying then, where are we at today in our numerology? Between 1 and 10. Notice there's no cups here. Notice there's no coins. This is all what we call hard suits. We have the 1 major. That's like a goal that says, you know what? I am a destiny card and I am going to, you know, try and find that moment of breath, that moment of rest. Recognizing that we have a path. What are we leading up to? Well, you know how I often say that I don't say past, present, future when reading cards, and that's because this feels like it's more of a scale. And I like doing this with the cards sometimes because here's that peace of mind, here's that being centered that we want to apply to our lives. And the base and foundation is the effort, the stress that we put in. We recognize it. These 2 cards are the exact opposite. And it's asking us, which way do we want to go with this? You know, we recognize that we need to do everything, that we need to get the work done. But today, ask yourself, which way is the scales tipping? Are we able to take a breath, to center, to find some peace of mind? Or are we going to let the scales tip this way? Again, the advice card is just to recognize where we are just in our path for today. So today, as we go through the day, are we following the path of the fool? Or are we feeling all that stress? And what do we need to do to turn that scale? With that, I hope everybody here has an amazing, amazing day, an amazing rest of the week. And I will be back here again tomorrow. Thanks again. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hope